you think that Bitcoin is bad because you think it's a currency, but did you know it's actually, we think of it as a property, not a currency, right? Someone will say Bitcoin is bad because it's bad for the because it's a currency, and I like the U.S. dollar, and so I don't like Bitcoin. Remember, Donald Trump said that once. I like the U.S. dollar, I don't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Bitcoin. The response is not you're not smart enough, right? The response is don't say, if you were smarter, you wouldn't say that. Don't say that. The response is, well, actually, I understand why you would say that. Other people have been led to believe it's a currency because of the phrase cryptocurrency. But in fact, we've come to see that it's actually a property, and it's been designated as a property by the IRS. So it's a digital gold superior to gold in every way. And if you like gold, you might like Bitcoin a bit better than gold, but it is not a threat to the country or to the currency. Now, that might not persuade the person that was against Bitcoin, but the 500,000 people that read the comment will look at it, and maybe 10% of them would be persuaded. And if you flip 10% of 500,000 people, you just got 50,000 new comments by being polite and respectful and constructive
Mm.
and not confrontational, but just engaging.
Hello and welcome to Money Talks. In today's video, Bitcoin evangelist and CEO of MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, updates about Bitcoin's most recent price rally and the current macroeconomic outlook for the cryptocurrency markets. He talks about Bitcoin's adoption as a magic technology that solves most of the current economic problems. Michael Saylor also addresses the issue of Bitcoin haters and what's the best reply to their Bitcoin-related concerns. Make sure to stick around till the end of this video where Michael Saylor reveals the #1 advantage of Bitcoin that makes it far superior than fiat currencies. So, without wasting any time, let's dive right into the video.
Coming back to Bitcoin, what you want is for every nation, organization, and individual to embrace it and support it. That's what you want.
It's
So if you're spending a lot of time to tell the world why somebody is stupid and has a character flaw, right? You're ripping somebody else down, but that's not building up Bitcoin, right? Ultimately, you got to choose your fights very carefully. And I think there's some fights worth taking. For example, I think it's reasonable to fight the gold bugs because we both agree with sound money, but every dollar invested in gold is a dollar not invested in Bitcoin. And that's a battle we can win. We should win because it's a benefit to them when they switch. It's a benefit to Bitcoin when they switch.
mm-hmm.
Right? I don't think it's all that constructive to fight a battle to eliminate the euro. Right? Like the odds of actually persuading 20% of gold bugs to abandon gold and adopt Bitcoin as their reserve currency are a lot higher than the odds of persuading 20% of the Europeans to stop using the euro and leave the EU. You see, so there are some battles that just I don't think make that much sense, and other battles make a lot of sense. There are ones that are winnable.
The current crypto market meltdown has been a reality check for several investors who have been previously quite reckless about their cryptocurrency investment strategies. The meltdown frenzy sent crypto buyers into a full panic mode and caused them to flee the market. The economic instability in the global market is one of the primary reasons that led to the massive downfall of Bitcoin. But after much speculation and volatility, the Bitcoin token has finally risen to a substantial price range and is slowly marching towards the $30,000 range. Meanwhile, some analysts are also predicting that before Bitcoin embarks on its brand new price rally, the crypto will definitely decline to the $10,000 range before ascending upwards to the $30,000 zone.
Everybody in the United States could be better off, right, without dramatic changes to the government. If there was 100x as much Bitcoin, they'd all be better off right now without changing anything in the government. So the world's full of challenges. There are a lot of things that are inefficient in the world. We could talk about them for 100 hours. But I think the whole point of laser eyes is focus your energy. So if I'm going to, what is a laser? A laser is I have a certain amount of energy and I narrow my focus to a pen head, a pen prick, the narrowest focus possible. And why do I do that? So I can go the longest distance without dissipation. So every time you broaden your focus, you dissipate your energy and you lose your reach. And so the question really is what can you accomplish and how are you going to accomplish it? You're not you're not going to fix every company, every government in the near every bank and every government future with the Bitcoin message. Right? I tend to look at it a different way, which is there are some entities that can adopt it now, and we should go find them and help them do it.
Mm-hmm.
There are some places where it's just going to be a very, very difficult or impossible. Then don't waste your energy. Don't waste your energy fighting with them. You're not going to change their mind. Don't squander your energy. You don't have time, and you don't have the energy to pick fights with people, along the road of life. Right? You should just move on.
Bitcoin rebounded shortly after the announcement regarding the probable launch of the Ethereum upgrade that triggered a rally for the entire crypto market. Cryptocurrency prices have been closely tracking the stock market this year, and with the impending inflation, the markets continued to suffer, deepening fears about their investments and driving buyers away from the market.
Bitcoin is a magic technology that offers benefits to any individual or entity that adopts it. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other hand, the simplest way in which to adopt it right now is as a long-term store of value asset if you're a private entity and you're not subject to GAAP-based accounting. And the other ways you can adopt it, they have more friction, accounting friction, tax friction, compliance friction. For example, like we can agree that it would be good if banks, if banks banked Bitcoin, that would be good. But many banks are afraid to do this due to FDIC guidance. I think today there was just a story coming out that Citigroup announced that they will probably start to custody Bitcoin. So what we need is we need to educate the regulators, educate the politicians, and then as the FDIC and FASB and the SEC and the CFTC and the OCC and every other agency starts to understand and provide useful guidance, then all those companies will start to take much larger positions. And then the investment community will support that, and Bitcoin will spread as technology. And the best way to get them to provide that constructive guidance is just avoid taking unnecessarily adversarial positions in the evangelism or the advocacy. Right? We don't need to end the dollar or end the Fed in order to spread the good cheer of Bitcoin.
The free fall of the global crypto market might have ceased, but the market is yet not stable. For quite a long period of time, Bitcoin has been stuck within the tight range of $19,000 and $21,000. Time and again, the crypto has failed to breach the $21,000 resistance and has fallen right below the $20,000 mark. So, should crypto investors be skeptical about this price rally? Well, to be on the safer side, it might be wise for investors to remain cautious.
Right? Then you could be persuaded that steel is a valuable technology. And the key there is whoever sells the steel needs to make it an apolitical statement. And I think with Bitcoin can be spread everywhere on Earth, as digital energy, right? As a technology, right? If Bitcoin is digital energy, then it's simply the next evolution of electricity or oil or atomic power or hydropower or solar power or the internet. It's just the next thing. If Bitcoin's got to be a digital currency, then you're going to have to replace the government right? Either peacefully or in a hostile fashion, you got to replace the government. It's just like, given, if I were to try to calculate the difference in effort, one of the things is like a million times harder to do, plus a lot of bloodshed, right? Castro replaced the government, but like, would you want to do that? I mean, even if I told you you could, like, we had a civil war in the United States, right? Like, you don't really want a civil war. There's no winners, and
It's
so I think that the Bitcoin community has an opportunity to embrace the technology, spread it to everywhere, and be everybody's friend. And I think that's something we ought to be spending more time thinking about. And I think we should spend a lot less time fighting over the currency, because once you made the point that the currency has inflation, I think you just got to move on, because the next debate is whether or not gold is better than Bitcoin for fighting inflation, right? Because you're not going to actually eliminate the source of inflation, right? That will require regime change. If we demonetize everything everywhere, maybe we cure half of the problem, which is good. I think that's enough. It might take 100 years. I'm hard pressed to think it takes less than 100 years. Feels like it's like a multi-generational exercise if we're successful. And then at the end of it, you're still going to have debates about whether to give 4-year-old kids pharmaceutical products to treat their ADD, right? You're still going to have debates over religion. You're still going to have debates over, someone at age 87 is dying and someone wants to give them $1 million treatment and someone else says that that's too expensive, right? And you're going to have all those issues. And
It might seem quite overwhelming and daunting for some investors, as they also have to deal with the drastic macroeconomic factors of the market. Also, the deepening fears around crypto ban and regulations are further instigating investors to sell off their tokens. Nevertheless, some reports indicate whales and investors are returned back to the grind as soon as the market condition improved. Maybe that will ignite some hope among other investors, eventually raising trading volumes of the digital assets. So, do you agree with Michael Saylor that Bitcoin is a magic technology that solves a number of global economic issues? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching.